Hey there, Mac users and Mac Automators. This is Bakari Shavana with Mac Automation Tips. Hey, in this particular video, this is kind of a productivity, it's a little bit of an automation tutorial about how to format an email so that an event or a calendar date will be recognized in Apple Mail or other email clients. So kind of stick around and let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here we are in Apple Mail, and I guess this could be used for any other email client. But what I'm going to show you is it's kind of like a little pet peeve I have, because people send me emails and they put dates in them, and the way they format the dates, the way they write the dates in there, it write it in a way that the email client, particularly Apple Mail, does not recognize that is a calendar event or a calendar date, if you will. And so, I kind of start thinking about how do you format an email so that Apple and other email clients will recognize it as an event. So I did a lot of kind of trial and error on it. Now, basically, when you get an email, people will kind of set it up something like, our next WordPress workshop. We're excited to host our next workshop, and then they'll bury the information in a sentence or a paragraph, right? So if I send this off, let me do this here, okay, and it should come up. There you go. So now if I do that, you notice right now the Apple Mail does not really recognize this as an event. It does recognize this particular portion here. So if I click on here, click or tap on here, right? So basically, move this over some. All right. So basically, it will fill it in. It will definitely recognizes the date, and notice that it uses the subject line right here as the name of the event, right? So it recognizes it pretty well in that regard. All right. So it's not too bad, and it also puts in the address here as well. All right, and notice also that it will use the if you only have the start time, it would use your default time from when it starts and when it ends. So I think my default time is 1 hour or something like that. So it automatically puts in 1 hour. So that's how it comes out there. So now let's go to another example. Let me cancel that. Okay, in this particular one, notice that I changed the subject line to put the exact name of the event that we're hosting here. And here we still have this kind of, information that's kind of buried into a paragraph or a sentence, right? So let's move this one, let's do this one here, send it here, right? And if you go here, again, you see Apple Mail does not recognize it, even though you do have you can click here and get the information you need, and it will add it to it. It's like the last one here. But now notice now that you have the subject line says WordPress workshop, which is great, because that's how you want that event to look in that person's calendar. All right, so when they add it to the calendar here. All right, now we're going to go back again. All right, now this one here is pretty similar. And here I just kind of added the time here. Just, you really don't need it here, but this might be useful for the recipient, right? And you might even put the date in the subject line as well. But now in this particular case, we're excited to host a workshop, blah, blah, blah. And here's the date, and here's the name of the place it's going to be, and the address, right? So let's send this one off. All right. Now, when we send this one off here, we get this configuration. Oops, and notice too, now at this point, this is what I really want to see. At this point, it definitely recognizes the calendar event. So all you have to do is click add here, and it will put the subject line in here if you want that. But notice it will add the 12:30 p.m. So you probably might not want to have that in there. Maybe not, maybe so. Also notice that it does not add the location here for some reason. It doesn't do that. And so I kept trying and I kept kind of experimenting with it to figure out, well, why didn't it add the location here? So let's come out of this one and let's go to the last one. So I figured out after a lot of trial and error that first is that you want to put, the subject here. So it's a WordPress workshop right here. All right. Now, what I found was the best way is to start out with the name of the place, the address, including the zip code, so that you can use the GPS or what have you, right? And I've also found that you can set up the date pretty much like this right here, but I've also found it might be easier for the reader of it to put the time right below the date right here. So then basically, let's send that. All right, and so it comes now. Excuse me. Now you notice that you can click the calendar to add the calendar here, and it says WordPress Workshop, and it puts the address here. It does not put the name of the place where it's going to be held, but that's useful for the recipient. But at least it does put the address here, and it also puts the beginning and end time. So that's that's the way that I found to best set up a format in email so that people can utilize that automatic feature for adding to a calendar. Now it works the same way here. If you go over to the Google Gmail, if you send that and you click on add to calendar, it works pretty much the same way. Let's see, there you go. And I don't use Gmail that much in terms of that, but but it apparently it adds the time. It does not add the address for some reason. I don't know why, but again, it might be, I don't know. Again, I don't use Gmail, so I didn't really test it a lot for Gmail, but it does at least work. Most of it works there. So anyway, so this is really how you set up or format an email. You put the name of the event in the subject line here, and then you put this logistical information in a kind of a separate section. Don't bury it in a paragraph. Put it in a separate section there. Now, I've also set up a TextExpander snippet to do this. And so say that if I go and create an email and I want to remind myself what information, how to format that information, I can put C date right here, and then at this point I just fill in the information here, and then when I fill information and click OK, it will be formatted in this particular way. All right. Now, what I've done for you, if you use TextExpander, and this also might work in other TextExpander applications, I'm going to copy this data here, right? Oops, I'll copy it. I'll copy it and post it in the the description below, right? And you can just copy and paste that kind of code, if you will, that kind of setup, and put it in your TextExpander or try it in your other text expansion application and see if it works for you, because I'm pretty sure it works the same way for all those text expansion applications. So again, I hope you found this useful. It's just something, so like a little bit of a pet peeve for me, and I wanted to figure out how. So when I'm creating these emails and formatting email, what's the best way to do it so that people can automatically add the calendar event to their calendar rather than having to type or whatever to do that. And I'm pretty sure there are other solutions, but definitely let me know what you think of this, and if you have some other ideas for solutions. I know, and you could send them, you can send a recipient the calendar file if you want, the calendar or Gmail file, and they can add it that way as well. But this is just way of just kind of formatting the email like in a regular way. So let me know what you think about it, and appreciate you checking it out. Thanks.